So we appreciate you all stopping by our booth today. We are Verdure, and I'm going to start by introducing myself. I'm Carlisa, the Director of Marketing.
I'm Sideshwari Eke, Director of Chemical Analysis.
I'm Ibube Onwasiwe, Director of Food Processing.
I'm Priyanka Patel, Director of Food Analysis.
Ebony Major, Director of Microbiology.
And I'm Terry D'Anthony of Sensory Sciences.
And Terry's actually going to start out a little bit today by telling you a little background of how we developed our snack attacks.
So the United States is the largest market for functional foods. In 2012, we brought in about 27 billion, and of that 27 billion, 3 billion of that was snacks. The most common snacks you hear today are like cookies and chips and granola bars. So we wanted to present a snack that was close to granola bars, but put a little twist on it, and instead of using granola, we used puffed rice. And we wanted to make it more innovative, and so we decided to make it in the form of a ball, something that's small and poppable, easy to go in.
So Verdure, how did we come up with our company and our name? Verdure, according to Merriam-Webster, means the greenest of vegetation and is in a condition of vigor and health. So our mission is to strive to provide healthy yet tasty products for our consumers that goes along with our vision of supporting the life, health, and happiness of those consumers. We want to, of course, we have a definite interest in social responsibility, and so we definitely want to make sure that we aspire to contribute to different research surrounding sickle cell disease, cancer, and digestive disorders. We had two objectives with this research. The first to be to create a functional food, the snack attack, that will be a healthier snack alternative for our consumers. The second being to analyze the chemical, physical, and sensory properties of the created product, the snack attack, to ensure its acceptability.
So the ingredients, the materials that we used for a snack attacks is the rice puffs, lentils, almonds, dried fruit mix, and those were all in a same way. Then we use the butter and all the natural sweeteners such as coconut palm sugar, agave nectar, brown rice syrup, and spices less than 2% ginger powder, orange zest, and cinnamon powder. And moving on to the method that we use to make a snack attacks, Ibube will go on the flow chart.
So for our production process, we have our wet and dry ingredients. First of all, we heated our dry ingredients to reduce the water moisture content. Then we heated our wet ingredients, which included the agave, the rice syrup, the butter, and this was to melt it. And after that, we mixed it using a pan. For example, in an industry, we would use a planetary mixer, which has both a heating and a cooling effect. Now, during the mixing, depending on the size of your package, that will determine the speed of stirring and mixing. After that, we will go into our molding process. For a pilot plant study, we would recommend using a hedgehog molding machine. This machine also has a cooling effect to ensure that our product, when we molded them, they had a consistent stability. So the texture was in the right shape. There was no breakage or crumbling. After that, we would package our product. We have the material for our packaging includes we have two materials, the LDPE, which is the low density polyethylene. This will serve as a heat stabilizer, and we also have alcohol, which would serve as an oxygen barrier to prevent oxidation. After the packaging, we would then store it at room temperature and to the shipping stage.
Chemical analysis, we have done water activity, texture, and pH and color for chemical analysis. We have used Protronic C1 for water activity. That's the instrument that we have used for water activity. And for texture, we have used T2000 texture analyzer. And for pH, we have used CyberScan pH 6500. And for color, we have used Hunter Lab ColorFlex color meter.
So moving on the proximate analysis, we did proximate analysis to see that how much fat or protein or carbohydrates that our snack attacks contain. So we use the methods by AOAC, and then we analyze the moisture by using the Erawan method, ash analyzer, we analyze the ash content of our product by using the muffle furnace, and also the crude fat by using the sock stick method, and also the protein by using the kill down method.
Okay, so Dr. On microbial analysis, we use standard plate count method. We use the 1 to 10 dilution of our sample in Peptone water. We perform serial dilutions, but we only plated dilutions 10 to the -3 through -5. Those plates were performed in triplicates and incubated for 24 hours at 37 degrees Celsius.
And then for sensory analysis, we performed a descriptive test on a total of 52 panelists.
Moving to the results.
The first graph shows figure 1, that's for color. I'll represent on the x-axis. Those are the days from day 0 to day 21, and on the y-axis these are the LAB values. And coming to water activity, figure 2. On x-axis it's the days, and the y-axis on water activity, and the water activity values were from 0.45. And coming to pH of the snack attacks from day 0 to day 21. On x-axis is the days, and on the y-axis is the pH values that ranged from 5.5. And coming to texture, on x-axis we showed again the days and the texture values on Newton per gram. On the y-axis, on day 0 and day 4 the values were stable, but on day 7 it has increased. From day 11 the values were called stable.
Okay, so for our sensory, we gathered our panelists from within the Food and Animal Science Department here at Alabama A&M. We had a total of 52 panelists. The majority of these 52 were actually African American. They were female majority between the ages of 17 and 20. We were able to test them on a hedonic scale from 1 to 5, with 1 being dislike very much and 5 being like very much. And we were able to see that for the sweetness, that it was like very much. The crunchiness, it was like somewhat. For somewhat dislike, we were able to see the aroma peaked here. And for the overall acceptability, we were able to gather that about 70% of our panelists, our 52 panelists, liked it, and 23% was unsure. When we asked on pricing of what they were like to pay, we asked them from $1.99 all the way up to $5.99. We gathered that about 70% said that they would pay between $1.99 and $2.99. And we were also able to see that the repeat purchase would be most between once a month.
Okay, and for microbial analysis, we plated on day 0, 4, 14, and 21. For all days, we did not see any growth. For future analysis, we may reduce the serial dilutions that are plated or continue to plate until we see growth. For a HACCP, we have 1 CCP at the mixing step because there may be metal fragments or foreign matter. If there is foreign matter present, that the product would no longer be acceptable and would have to be discarded.
So moving on to the labeling and packaging, the nutrition facts of our product. Our serving size was 4, 10 gram each, total 40 gram, and the serving per container is 2. I want to highlight here that our product is a low in sodium, 5 mg, and also it is high in fiber, 12% of its recommended daily value.
So what's important to Verdure in terms of our conjoint analysis of our product? Convenience is our #1 priority with this particular snack attack product, and aroma being our least important, given the fact that there isn't a large aroma associated with that particular product. In terms of our pricing, due to some of our research, the array of acceptability prices within our sensory, we settled on $3.99 per package, and our production cost per package being $2.59. Our hope is that we will get to a perceived profit of $2.5 million per year. So now that you've heard about snack attacks and everything that it has to offer, please feel free to try. We welcome you and your questions.
As a